What up, what up, what up, everybody? So guess what? There's a meme that's floating around that I thought was very interesting. And I said, you know what? I want to get on a live and address this meme. I want to address this idea, this concept that I keep seeing float around. Because people, talking about generational wealth and finances and stocks and LLCs. And I'm like, you know what? There are some steps that people are missing. And I'm going to tell you my personal experience of how I learned to fill those steps, what I've done, and also what you can do. So I'm going to shoot this video. I'm going to show you guys. If somebody hops in, you can follow along. But I just want to show you guys what I've learned when it comes to filling in those steps of creating generational wealth. So I wrote on my board. Hopefully you can see it. If not, I will walk you through it step by step. You can zoom in. Can't miss anything as I'm explaining. So if you look at the board, the meme actually says, it's on my timeline, it says, it's funny how across everybody's timeline you're hearing, hey, get an LLC. But there's actually no mention of the product or service at all. There's nothing about setting up a website, finding a distributor, commerce tips, SEO, or ways to make the business successful. And I was like, you know what? They're absolutely right. Everybody's talking about LLC. Everybody's talking about ownership. Everybody's talking about generational wealth. But how many people are actually getting taught how to create generational wealth? What are the steps? Well, it was funny because on the meme, it said that step one was get an LLC. Wrong. That is not the first step. My personal first step is get a mentor, get a coach, get somebody that's actually in the industry, the field you want to go in. Matter of fact, the first step is figure out what you want to do. Don't spend 6, 7, 8 months trying to get ideas and figure out what you want to do. Think about what's your skill. Whenever I recruit people or I talk to people, the first thing I ask them is, what's your skill? What are you good at? Because I'm going to try to find out what is their gift. I want to hone their gift and I want to master their gift. So what's your skill? After that, then you can look at different avenues of how can I use my skill to create a business or to find a mentor or a coach that can help me along the way as I embark on this journey. Well, guess what? I have a mentor and coach in Earnie Sharon Sears. I actually am directly coached by them. They're 100K earners, 100 plus K earners. They're really keen in the business in the field that I want to go in, that I'm in now. And so when you have a coach, when you have a mentor, they can guide you. They can help create a plan for you, which is actually step number 2. Look at that, question mark. That was part of me. And it was like, well, what's step number 2? One thing Earnie and Sharon have taught me is make a business plan. Have a plan. Have a direction of where you're going. You can't just start doing stuff and throwing ideas out there if you don't have a plan. And the cool thing about Earnie and Sharon is they connect me to other leaders like a George Palayo or a Matt Sapala, who's one step away from a Patrick Bet-David, right? The founder of PHP, the founder of Valuetainment, somebody who's advising big companies like a Coca-Cola and other companies. I am one step away from them, so they're getting counsel from them, and they give it to me. And they help me create a plan. And in this plan, which is part of our process of building leaders and building individuals, is what? Finding out your why. Because you can start a business, you can go, you can talk to people, you can get ideas, but as soon as you hit turbulence, guess what you're going to do? You're going to quit. You're going to give up. And guess what? It's going to be because you don't know your why. So find out what your why is. Find out the reason of why you're embarking on this journey in the first place. Because I'm telling you something, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be something that you can just start and then it's going to start off fast and it's going to be easy. Just like I said yesterday in my comments, just like my boy said yesterday, he said, a lot of times fast is not good because fast doesn't have a foundation. You want to have your why. So things, whether they go fast or they go slow, you have a reason of why you get up, why you grind, why you put in the hard work every single day. That's part of your business plan. So create a business plan. And so you want to find out what's your skill. You want to shadow said leadership. You want to go out in the field. You want to go in meetings. You want to talk to them. You want to have conversations with them. You want to get inside their minds. You want to see what they're eating, what they're reading, who they're talking to, who's developing them. You want to shadow them. Then you want to personal development. Again, you want to know what they're reading, what podcasts are they listening to, what stock are they watching, what are they doing to grow themselves, and you want to duplicate that. And then you want to attend conferences. We've had conferences where I've heard Kobe Bryant speak, George Bush, Magic Johnson. We just had Terrell Owens. We just had Gary Chapman. We have different speakers, Inky Johnson, Tim Tebow. People are coming to our conferences and they're telling us about how they faced adversity, how they built their business, how they went from sometimes sleeping in their cars to making $100+ million. It is a journey, and you have to hear those stories. One thing I always tell my clients, and I tell my new agents is, hey, you know what? Facts tell, stories sell. So a lot of times hearing their story and being able to relate to them, that better encourages me in my business. And you know what? Like I just mentioned, you got to put in the hard work. You got to see what it's like putting in the hard work, starting from nothing. Or you can start from something and again, facing adversity, having to course correct, leading a team, putting in that hard work. That's why good leadership is important. And then number 3, guess what you get to do next? You get to build your own team. One phrase that I completely don't like is self-made, self-made, self-made. You know what? It takes a team to do anything. If you're an athlete and you may play a one-man sport, but guess what? Boom, you hurt your ankle. Guess what you have? A team. You have people who are going to help you with recovery, with nutrition, with rehabilitation. Hell, you might need a therapist to get your mind back in the game so you can get back into being a top-notch person. But you might have a team of 5 people on a basketball court or 11 people on a football field. No matter what it may be, you're going to have a team. You're going to have people that are rocking with you. So build the team. You're not going to do this alone, which is why I put recruit here. You're going to recruit people that you love and you trust on your team. Build a good team. Build a good company. Recruit. And then guess what? Say somebody doesn't want to be recruited. Okay, tell your friends and your family about what you're doing. Get referrals. Because you know what? There may be people who have no interest in what you're doing. They don't want to be a part of it. But guess what? They'll send you referrals. They'll either send you people that will be a part of your team, or they'll send you people that are going to be clients who are going to help build your business up. So tell everybody about it. Again, you're not supposed to do this alone. You build, you recruit, you get referrals. Find people who are skilled in social media. There's plenty of classes. There's plenty of people who you're connected to who are good at social media, who are good at marketing, who are good at building websites. So the question is, nobody's teaching you about websites? When you build your team and as you start to develop, you will connect and network with people who are good with those things. And they might give you a break. Instead of charging you $200, they might charge you $50. They might do a free seminar for your team. I've had plenty of people that I know that I'm connected to that I've done free 30, 45-minute, hour, 2-hour calls with my team. Just teaching them about marketing, digital marketing, social media, talking to people, right? For free. That's because I built relationships. Again, you're not supposed to do this alone. So step 1, find a mentor. Step 2, get a business plan, which helps you find out your wall. Step 3, build a team, build your organization. And step 4, that's when you get that LLC. That's when you really start building generational wealth because you put in 3, 4, 5, sometimes 10 years of the hard work. And now you have a foundation. Now you have something that's stable. Now you know how to get a DBA. Now you know how to get insurance on yourself or your company or your key employees. All these things, guess what? Are built into my company. We teach all our people how to do this step by step by step by step. We have the 6 steps, 6 simple steps. And if you do these 6 simple steps in our system, guess what? You're going to be successful. If you do 1, 2, skip 3, 4, 5, 6, you're not going to be successful. If you skip 1, you can't get to 2 through 6. If you go 1 through 5, guess what? Number 6 is just as important as number 1. Have a system and that help create the generational wealth. Then you get to get the LLC. Good thing about PHP, my company, is we get the co-brand, right? So if you have your own LLC and if you want to create your own company, you get the co-brand with PHP as you create and develop that. PHP is a great foundation. It's a great system. And we also get the co-brand with our company. But again, I keep seeing this meme float around and I'm like, the good thing is there's actually systems, there's programs, there's companies that will teach you all the steps. You just have to go get it. It's not going to come to you. It's not going to be through osmosis or some dream. You have to go get it. You have to seek mentorship. You have to create a plan. You have to find your why. You have to build. You have to recruit. Just like your job recruited you. You went on Indeed or you went on Craigslist or you went on LinkedIn and your job actively recruited you or you sought them. You still had to go to an interview. They still offered you a salary and you said, I accept or I decline. Just like they recruit you, they give you incentives to recruit your friends and your family. If you really want to create generational wealth through your own business, you're going to have to recruit. You're going to have to build. And I'm going to tell you something. Guess what? After you build that business, after you build that company, guess what? That generational wealth can be passed on. So you get to pass that on to your family, to your loved ones. One thing that we have, like in Herbalife, I'm part of Herbalife organization, I'm part of PHP, is we have what we call a code. We can pass that code on. I can build a multi-million-dollar business and I can say, son, Joshua, this is yours. Or say you build a tech company or a bakery or a restaurant or a trucking company and it has your last name. You are the founder. Guess what you get to do? You get to pass that on. That's generational wealth. That's what the wealthy have been doing from the Rockefellers and the Kennedys and all those at the top. Guess what they're doing? They're passing it on. You get to pass on that wealth. But you know what the best part about all this is? Everything I just explained that we do in my company, PHP, guess what? It's universal. Everything that you learn through us, through what I teach, through how I develop, all this is universal. You can pass this on if you want to start your own clothing brand or your boutique or a salon, again, or a trucking company. Everything that we teach, everything that we learn, it's universal. So you may not want to go into finance. You may not want to learn about annuities and index funds and life insurance. But guess what? As you start to build your business and get successful and get mentorship and get coaching and get connected, and then you say, hey, while I'm doing this, I would love to start this. I would love to start a foundation for kids, teaching them about entrepreneurship and those things. You're connected and you're learning a system that's very generational. It's universal. So I want to tell you guys, to me, those are the steps. When I see that meme, I'm go, yeah, people are missing 2, 3, and even 4. It's because they're not getting coached. They don't have a plan. They're not watching and shadowing. They're not learning from the greats, sometimes for free. They're not recruiting. They're not building. And that's not allowing them to get that generational wealth or that LLC. So I'm hoping that helped you guys out. And I do want to end with a very good story that I recently heard. Shout out to my coach and mentor, Mr. George Palayo. It's a very common story that maybe some of you guys may have heard. It's about the 3 brothers, right? Now, these 3 brothers, they were going through life just like any other person. They were running through the race of life. But guess what they faced? They faced a big, bad wolf. So you had the very younger brother, right? Now, as he's running through the race of life, he comes up to that big, bad wolf. He's all alone. He says, hey, you know what? I need to build a foundation. I need to build a home for myself. Well, he decided to build his home out of straws. Nothing very heavy, just very light straws. And guess what those straws were? They were actually a job. Hey, job seems secure, right? But at the end of the day, when you experience something like a pandemic, like 2020 pandemic, where 50 million people became unemployed, guess what? That job gets bought out. If a pandemic causes it to shut down, or if it goes bankrupt, guess what? Boom, job is gone. You might get fired. Job is gone. That big bad wolf is going to blow that foundation right out. So that little brother runs to the Miller brothers' house. Now, Miller brother says, you know what? I'm not getting caught up in this big bad wolf of life. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to build my foundation out of sticks. A little bit more sturdy, right? So Miller brother starts a small business and he's going. Good thing about a small business is you get to make your own schedule. And as you work, you get paid. You actually get a team of maybe 3 to 5 people to help you run that business, right? But guess what? Again, pandemic might happen, or you might have a key employee who's not satisfied, or another company comes along who's a little bit more sexy, who has a tastier contract level or whatever it may be, and it might take that key employee away. Guess what? Now you're back to zero. That big bad wolf of life is gonna blow that small business right out the window. But guess what? That little brother and that middle brother run a big brother. Guess who that big brother is? Right here, smack down. I know you can see that, red letters, PHP. I just told you guys to bring it all circle. We teach you the steps. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. PHP is that solid foundation. PHP is the ones who are going to teach you how to build a foundation, how to build a plan, how to build mentorship, how to build something that will sustain and that will last. PHP is those bricks, that strong bricks, that no storm, no bad weather, no earthquake, no pandemic. We did more in 2020, just in a few months sometimes, than we did for the past 4, 5, 6 years in a pandemic. 1 month we recruited over 10,000 agents. So while people were getting laid off, guess what? Our company was growing and recruiting. PHP is that foundation. So if you're looking for a foundation, if you're looking on how to use the steps to be successful, I'm just going to tell you one thing. Come holler at me. PHP is the way to go. We are always looking for new people who are sharp, who are ready, who are ambitious, who want to build that foundation, who are looking at these memes and go, well, Mark, how do I do it? Reach out to me. Reach out to me. You can DM me, you can comment, you can text me if you have my number, you can give me a phone call if you've been thinking about it. Reach out to me. And all I ask, if you know somebody, sharing is caring. Share this message with them. Let them know that there is a way for them to have the 4 steps. There's more than 4 steps sometimes, most times, but there is a way for them to beat that mean, get those 4 steps to be successful, and again, transfer it to other aspects of their business, of their lives, of their relationship. Come holler at me. PHP is the way to go. I love it. I respect it. I appreciate the foundation and mentorship that I've received, and I want to share with everyone. So with that being said, share this, like it. I appreciate you guys for checking me out. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day.